Reports say that Barack Obama has acquired a couple new residences to move his family to after he leaves the White House. One of those residences, they say, is in Washington, D.C. According to reports, that is being leased, and that's where they will stay while his daughter finishes high school. But he's also acquired another property, according to reports, in a place called Rancho Mirage, California. The question is, why does he want to move to that city? Well, we could say, it's known for its plush golf courses, so it makes perfect sense. Fact, his daily routine probably won't change a whole lot from what it was in the White House. But there is a problem that I see with him moving to Rancho Mirage in California. And the problem is, keeping in mind that Barack Obama, like all left-wing lunatic Democrats, are forever harping on the evils of segregation and the importance of racial integration. And they keep telling us that diversity is our strength, and we should be just as diverse as we possibly can. By the way, I got no problem with diversity. I've got no problem with integration. I have no problem with multiculturalism. I do have a problem with government force. I have a problem when the government forces us to be multicultural, forces us to be integrated, forces us to abandon our freedom of association. I used to call it right of association. Now I call it the freedom of association, because we should be free to associate with whomever we want to, with whomever. I don't even know if that's good grammar, but it sounds good to me. Okay, let's take a look at the demographics of Rancho Mirage. This is a screenshot at Wikipedia, which, as you know, is a very reliable source. But actually, I think we can depend on this because it's based upon the 2010 United States Census report. And according to this report, according to the census report, Rancho Mirage has a population of 17,210. I say has, I'm basing this on 2010. Obviously, it's changed some since. But let's assuming that nothing has changed, just to make it easier. Of the 17,218, how many of those are white people? Well, the report says 15,267 of them. That is what we call a majority. That is what most people would call white-topia. May not be 100% white, but it's pretty close to it, 88.7%. That is what I would call a Jim Crow neighborhood. Basically, it's segregated, not by government force, but it's mostly segregated. Why would Barack Obama, an advocate of diversity as our strengthism, want to move to a city that is virtually white? The answer is because he's a hypocrite. Like everybody, he likes to be around white people. I don't see anything wrong with that. But I do have a problem with the hypocrisy. Why doesn't he move his family to a black housing project and help out those poor people? According to the demographics, the white population is comprised of 80. I should say the population is comprised of 88.7 white people, 81.7% non-Hispanic white. How many Negroes are in Rancho Mirage? Can I say Negro? The way I see it is, if it's okay for Martin Luther King Jr., it's okay for me. A lot of people don't like that, but they keep changing it. I can remember when Negroes were Negroes back in the 60s. I can actually remember the march, that Martin Luther King Jr. had on Washington, and it was a big deal, and you never saw so many black people in one place outside Africa. I can remember that being broadcast live on television back whenever it was, 1960-something. And he kept saying Negro, and nobody had a problem with it. Then they changed it to Afro-American. Then they changed it to African-American. And I don't know what they're going with now, but I thought black was pretty good because it's just one syllable. Makes it easy for lazy people like me to say it. 256 African Americans, black people, live in Rancho Mirage. Again, we're assuming that nothing has changed since 2010. Well, once the Obamas physically move in, that will change to 260 black people, Negroes, African Americans, Afro Americans, whatever you want to call them. No wonder they have an identity crisis. They don't even know who they are. Actually, considering that Barack is half white and half black, I think maybe they will change that to 259 and a half African Americans. Native American population, there you go again. What do you call these people? We used to call them Indians. They said that's racist. Then they started calling them Native Americans. And then they said, no, let's upgrade them to indigenous peoples. Okay, now we've got Muslims moving into our country, and they're having babies. Are those Muslims born in America indigenous peoples? I think what's going to have to happen is the liberals are going to have to think up a whole new term and redefine all of us. Because everybody will then need to be an indigenous persons, indigenous people, person, whatever. All right, 1.5% African American. The national black population is around 13%. Native Americans, 0.5%. Asians, which we are assuming is East Asians, but it may include Middle Easterners. Some people, in Britain, rather, they call everybody Asian if they're in the East, whether it's Middle East or Far East, East. Asia is what I meant to say. Asian population is 3.8%, 651 of those. Pacific Islanders, 0.1%, and from other races, 3.5%, 598. Kind of boring statistics, I know, but the point of all this is that liberals are hypocrites. They want the rest of us to be diverse. They want the rest of us to be racially integrated. And I have no problem, again, with racial integration. I have a problem with government force. I have a problem with government telling me what to do, telling me who I have to associate with. I believe in freedom of association. I also have a problem with the blatant hypocrisy. Remember, Roger Moore the movie producer, lived in Traverse City, Michigan. Look up the demographics of Traverse City sometime. It's basically, I think it's whiter than this Rancho Mirage. Yet he would harp on racism. There he was, smack dab in the middle of all-white Jim Crow city. Actually, he was not smack dab in the middle of it. He actually owned somewhat of a mansion on a lake near Traverse City, Michigan, but it was a Traverse City address. What about Joe Biden? Look up his address sometime. He lives in a town I can't remember the name of it, in Delaware. It's all white. I mean, it has a few token, can I say Negro again? Negroes living in a city. What about Bernie Sanders? I like to bring this out every time I have an opportunity. He lives in Vermont, where he espouses his anti-racism. Vermont is the second whitest state in the country, second only to West Virginia. So the point of all this is these people are abject hypocrites, including Barack Obama. After he leaves the White House, he's not moving to a black neighborhood where he can spread around his millions of dollars of privilege. He wants to move in with white folks. He doesn't care about diversity anymore, only when it helped get him elected president. I guess we could say that in the end, that Barack Obama is abandoning black people. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it on social media. There is a button underneath the video that says share. That's what that means. You can share this on Facebook, Twitter, other social media, websites. In the lower right-hand corner is another button, and it says subscribe. If you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, we encourage you to do that. Thousands of people are coming on board, literally thousands every month. We invite you to be a part of that, and also would like to hear what you have to say. So give us a thumbs up and then leave a comment in the comment section below. And tell me, do you think Barack Obama is being a hypocrite by moving into a Whiteutopian Jim Crow neighborhood?
Click the red button to subscribe.